another Mission and Nanaimo swap, Mission being round one. Then we go to Regina to crown our MX2 champ.
Moving east, we go to Gopher Dunes to start it all off. A couple of revisits in Quebec, and we're going to finish off at the Transcan.
The mighty Blackfoot team has some new names this year in Donnie McGordy and Mitch Cook. McGordy brings Honda all three #1 plates. They're going to be tough this year.
Let's move over to Yamaha Canada with the factory squad. Bringing up Beaton, Hagseth, and Dougie D with Homans on the outside. Moving over to Morgan Racing Yamaha. Blair Morgan is on that team this year, Brian. Craig Decker, Vallejo, Johnny Montez out east.
Nice to see Montez. Nate Tierney on the Swanson team. Josh DeMuth, big arena cross name, and speedster Chad Johnson.
To the Suzuki Ocean Transport team. Look at that three-way package of MX1 riders with Johnson, Treadwell, and Graysick. Fabulous. Woohoo! They're going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough.
And they are looking good. To the Richmond Cowie squad, Fasciati's back. No Darcy Lange, and a lot of fast guys, Lothridge and Lockhart in the MX1. Northrop, Mayer, and Sharon rounded out.
How about that Aldo Royal KTM team? Love it, Jimmy Nelson. That guy's super fast. Dubé's back in town. Chamberlain in the east, and look out for Kiefer. Okay, Dusty, they say the hardest thing to do is to repeat. You have a teammate that's done it 4 times in a row. You're looking to do it in the 125 MX2 West. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I think it should be a good year. Just have to stay up and, hopefully we don't have any bike problems, because if anything goes wrong, you're pretty much going to lose right off the bat. If you get a DNF, the series is pretty much over. So I just got to have consistent starts and hope, come with some wins and, I've worked really hard for this championship this year, and I'm ready for it.
Here we go, fabulous first moto of the season. This MX2 moto will be brought to you by Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. Remember, Brian, formerly the 125 class, now MX2. This is a 4-round series, 8 motos, and the competition is intense. Riders are on the line. The 30 board is up. We are seconds away from racing. Fabulous.
Woohoo, the intensity is huge right here at the racetrack. A concrete launch pad. We'll see some guys get some wheel spin. Start is critical in these rainy, muddy conditions. There's Fasciati. He's got a nice jump draft into the first turn. It's a Suzuki.
Shooting out of corner 1, it's number 14, Richmond Racing's Colton Fasciati with the Royal Distributing hole shot. Brian, right-hander to this rhythm section. Look at how fast Fasciati is out of that corner.
Beaton in solid second. Shane Best 102 on another Yamaha. Look at the line here for Beaton up the inside. He is challenging Fasciati early. Looks over. Here he comes. Look at the move on Beaton. Power slides right through to take the lead. What a balls to the walls move by young Beaton. These two are fierce rivals, Travers.
Look at the competition early on, though. You're right. Oh, my goodness. The confidence that Beaton is showing right now with that inside line on this greasy track, Brian, it is totally out of control.
See him knife in there. The dirt piled up on the front wheel. A big moment for Beaton. He has got to smooth out a bit. Fasciati, there. They are already gapping Best by a couple of seconds. And look how sloppy it is out there. Very, very tough on these guys.
Notice the riders going high on those corners, looking for some dry traction to blast out as we get to the Scott Lockoff cam off the finish line.
What a shot, and there goes Beaton and Fasciati. You can see the gap there. Andrew Boleyn, that is Dusty Klatt. Boleyn is falling back. Dusty Klatt in 4th place. There's Boleyn in 5th.
This back section of the track here, look at the lines, Brian. Slop everywhere. Still Beaton in front. Best in 3rd place. Klatt on the outside. Oh, a little contact from Best. You want to talk about this class is tough. And there's Andrew Boleyn. Great start for number 76.
189 team face Kevin Johnson on the move, but you can see how clean Best is there in 3rd. And Dusty Klatt has just been eating his roost. Klatt soldiering through early on in the race. Just taking his time, I think. He doesn't want to get caught up with Best.
Look at this, number 76, Boleyn goes down in that right-hander. Tough start for that young pilot. He was looking really good. Okay, Klatt slips by on the inside. Now in 3rd place, he's got Faccioti in his sights. Tight little freight train through there, Brian, in that left-hander. This is a section I think Klatt likes because the track starts to open up a little.
Yeah, you can see some of the one-line areas fighting for traction. Fasciati plants his foot, steps off the bike for a sec. Just gives the advantage to Klatt, and Klatt with that BMX experience just manuals it through the rough stuff. Klatt is the danger man on the circuit right now. Just look at that rider. He looks like Jean-Sébastien Waugh. I cannot believe Klatt.
Contact all over the track as Brock Navy, number 43, gets by young Jamie Kennedy. A couple of Suzuki pilots battling out. Remember, Brian, there are battles all over the track. Oh, with Shane Best going inside and punting Fasciotti off.
Fasciotti working his way backwards here. Best, an arena cross star in the U.S. New to our Canadian Series. Fasciotti trying everything. Look at that. He's being aggressive. Takes the pass. Fasciotti is a tough warrior in these conditions. Will not accept being passed by newcomer Shane Best.
Eric Vallejo with some dry track moves into the top 10 with a nice pass. Brian, you don't want to go down. That's why Best looked a little tentative when Fasciotti was coming into that corner.
Absolutely. When you crash, your controls just get covered in mud. Your gloves are covered in mud, and it just makes the race that much more difficult. Also, when you crash, you lose your momentum, your drive, you're stifled. It's hard to get that back. So a crash in these conditions is not what you want to do.
Kyle Beaton looking so smooth out in the lead. Oh, little mistake there. Didn't get the drive off that jump. Klatt on the inside through that whoop session. Look at the body position on Klatt.
Yes.
He is back on the saddle. Does he have him on the inside? Kyle Beaton, aggressive. Very aggressive.
There's Klatt skimming and Beaton rhythming, but he is aggressive into this corner and gets the advantage. Takes first place away from Kyle Beaton. You know that Klatt's about 3-4 years older than Beaton, but these guys have been going bar to bar since their mini-cycle days.
They sure have. Back to the battle for third place, Brian. Number 102, Pacific Yamaha. Shane Best with Kevin Johnson from Team Faith all over his back heel.
He's got that Yammy all decked out with orange graphics and fenders. 189 looking really strong so far in this series, but we've got one of the Richmond boys. That is young Teddy Mayer, number 67. He was a star up here in Calgary last year, passing 172 Nathan Tierney.
That's on the Swanson Racing Yamaha. Tierney is. Mayer looking very strong in this track. Tough conditions. Look at this, Johnson on the inside with that launch off that jump. Does he have Best? Yes, he does, and right now he has a podium spot in this MX2 West First Moto.
Shane Best still challenging. Johnson goes for the tear-off there, trying to get some vision. You can see how gnarly it is out there. There's puddles, but there is some nice traction in some of the sandy berms, and there's Klatt is trying to do everything right. Jersey out, untucked, just like Waugh. I tell you, he has modeled his style after Waugh. And here's a battle right here, Vallejo and Chris Heathrow on that KTM, Travis.
That's the Aldo Shoes Royal Distributing KTM, four-stroke KTM, brand new in Canada, with Kyle Beaton, smooth as silk, in second place, the rhythm section before the finish line.
Look at him soak up those nasty bumps. When it's dry, they are doubling into the corner. But in these conditions, it's impossible for them to do that. They're on the white flag lap. In that angle, you can see how big that tabletop is off the finish line.
Here is your leader, number 1, Dusty Klatt, on that Blackfoot Fox Honda. I cannot believe the confidence that I'm seeing just in his body English. He's just telling me, confidence, I am going to win this race, and I am going to repeat as champion. Goggles off, Brian, too. Look at that, goggles off on this hellish day on the track.
Klatt in survival mode, Travis, coming up for the checkers here.
Dusty Klatt starting where the season left off for him last year in MX2 West. Takes the win in the first moto.
Talk to us a little about the track and the visibility out there. Noticed near the end you dropped the goggles. That must have been tough.
Actually, I hacked my goggles within 7 minutes into that moto, and it was really hard on my eyes because I have contacts, and it was really bugging me seriously bad because all the mud was going right into my eyes, and it was making things really tough for me.
To the leaderboard, MX2 Moto number 1. You know your top 3. How about that pair of Cowies moving into the top 5? Nice ride for Best. Lovin Vallejo and Chris Kiefer rounding out the top 10.
You find with the reduced stress, you can think more about the track and what's going on around you, and do you find that being relaxed helps your results?
I don't know. We'll find out. I know it for sure make racing more fun because sometimes when you have too much pressure and too much stress on the shoulder, it makes the races less fun to go. So, but result-wise, I think last year was pretty much exceptional. So hopefully, if I can, do similar, do the same, I'd be more than happy.
The Premier class is on the line. This is MX1 Motocross Racing. Brian Coster and Mark Travers in the booth. The 30 board is up. The boys are pumped up, goggles on, and preparations are on the line.
And it is raining. You can see all the umbrellas there. The mechanics got on their riders. The critical first turn. The so important visibility. Waugh just gets a horrible jump. He is in dead last here. And it looks like Holman's number 12 on the outside. The Royal Distributing hole shot.
But very quickly, number 11, Doug DeHaan moves into first place through that ribbon section. Oh my, Homans is down in a big way.
Off screen there, Homans cartwheels in a way. That is what happens with a good start. He was so excited. He just aced himself, collects some other guys. Doesn't look good there. Someone holding his hand. But DeHaan out front. He can't buy a better start than that.
Look at how fast number 4, Craig Decker, moves into second place as he gets by Swanson Racing's Chad Johnson. 3 Yamahas with a 2-stroke up front.
Woohoo! And Johnson sideways got hung up in one of those ruts. A small moment for him, illustrating what can happen. But Johnson's still alive in third into this rhythm section, and we got a lone Honda in fourth.
Ryan, that's number 22, Mitch Cook, with a great start. He's got to be happy with that, but I just can't believe the confidence. Look at that, Cook already up in the third.
He makes the pass and then gets hung up in the soft, deep stuff. Johnson hangs on to third place, but what a gallant move by number 22, Mitch Cook.
Saw John Sebastian Waga through in the Scott USA lockoff cam. He's in about 8th spot. Mitch Cook making his way into third place as he gets by Johnson, and there's the gap from first to third. No way, Johnson holding strong in third.
Johnson, this is the battle on the track. Cook trying everything to get through, and like you said about Waugh, he is going to be charging. He's already passed a ton of guys, and there's Damon Huffman, number 2, Evan Lothridge, number 10 there.
That's not Evan Lothridge, that's number 21, Ryan Lockhart.
Oh, it
as
is!
he scoots by Huff Daddy.
Lockhart showing he is a 250 or MX1 rider here on that 2-stroke Kawasaki as the drag race is on. That is Decker and Johnson going at it for second place.
Look at Johnson on the inside with a great cut, but Decker coming back. I can't believe the speeds they're carrying on this sloppy track. It's unbelievable.
Wow, what a square off for Johnson up the inside on that dry loose end. Passes Craig Decker. Here goes Mitch Cook. Passes Decker. Decker goes from second to fourth. Mitch Cook really impressed with him. Blackfoot hired this kid from his results at Walton last year, and he's delivering.
He certainly is. It looks like there are some times, Brian, when you have to back it off and let that pass happen, because if you get your nose in there, you could go down and it could be a mess.
Decker, a veteran on that number 4 Yami. He knows it's a long race. He just got passed again by John Sebastian Waugh. That puts Waugh up into fourth. But look at John. He is just covered in mud.
He certainly is. Now working up on his teammate, number 22, Mitch Cook, who is in third place. What a great start for Mitch Cook. He's got to be just totally psyched.
And a couple lines there. You see, Waugh took that alternate line. He got a nice drive, got out of Cook's roost, made the pass. I tell you, Andrew, John's mechanic has got his front number plate covered with some Teflon solution. There is no mud on that number 1 plate, but look at Waugh's face. He is covered.
Well, even when he's covered in sand, we know who he is. He is the champ. Look at this pair of Kawasaki's. Team face Sean Clark with number 10, Evan Lothridge, swinging by on the outside.
There's Lothridge. I knew he couldn't be far. Him and Lockhart in the same gear. Easy to mix those guys up. Waugh now up into third place all over 827. That is Chad Johnson on the Swanson Yam. And there is the pass executed. Coming into the rhythms. There's Waugh in second, Travis.
You make one tiny mistake with the champ on your tail and you are done. Done, I say.
Yeah, and you know what? When guys know Waugh's coming, they get sloppy. They start thinking about him and not their ride, and it makes it easy for Waugh to get around. As Sean Clark up the inside of number 44, Johnny Montez on the factory Yamaha.
Here we are back to the battle for the lead. Number 11, Doug DeHaan on that factory 250 Yamaha has got Waugh all over him. Check the lines, Brian. Dougie D tucks her in tight. That's the best and the fastest line around that corner.
Yeah, John Sebastian Waugh in that same group, but Waugh jumps further. Dougie D is composed right now. These are ex-teammates, and I tell you what, they are two-stroke to two-stroke. Waugh just busts Dougie's chops with a little better drive out of the corner. You know what Waugh would say? Those Michelin tires, Travis. Gotta be those Michelin tires.
Looks like Mitch Cook has fallen off the pace a little bit as Evan Lothridge. Big slide out. Has he stalled the bike though, Brian? That's the question.
Oh no, there was some roost there. He just stalled it as he picked it up. He's kicking. That was a Laughman style crash. He was trying to brake slide it around the corner. Easy 7th place for Lothridge.
This is the battle for third. Decker swings wide. Keith Johnson on the inside with a great line. Going up to that finish line tabletop. Johnson does not have the drive. Decker looking great on the outside as they get to the mechanics ski jump. Oh my! Johnson on the throttle.
Determination by Johnson saves the day. He is in third. That is the final podium position. So lots at stake as Doug DeHaan cruising in second. He's got to be thinking preservation. And that's Johnson almost tagged by Decker. Johnson is, look looks like he's up and okay. Will that RMZ 450 start though? That is the thing with these four-stroke machines. Lockridge with big trouble, white smoke, that's never good. These conditions take their toll on the machines. I think that Kanks is cooked. He's done for this moto. Walk cruising out front though, Travs.
Back to the whoops. Looks like KJ's got that bike fired up, Brian. That Suzuki Ocean Transport 450. Let's look for the line on the inside. Oh my, great line. That's for 7th.
Wow, Keith Johnson back up and running after losing his mojo. Passes Hagseth. Solid for him to be back in the game. He's got visibility issues. It's self-preservation at this point of the race.
Late in the moto, the champ's on his final approach, Brian, looking pretty smooth out there.
Very graceful. You see that rag hanging out of the back of his pants? That is to clean his hands throughout the race.
The champ taking the checkered flag wins the first MX1 moto. This is the way to start the season off, Brian. He's going for 5. He looks strong, confident, man's in control. Hey, champ, that's a bit of a dirty sandwich you got there, fella. Winner of the first MX1 moto, you better believe it. Back in style, let's get to the LB. Waugh, DeHaan, and Decker. How about Ryan Lockhart with a 4th? You gotta love that. Graysick with a nice ride in 7th. Holman's in 9th, and Casey Clark in 10th. The beautiful rain-soaked Mission, British Columbia. Brian Costner and Mark Travers in the booth. 2nd MX2 West Moto. 3rd is up, Brian.
The rain is still teeming down. Umbrellas everywhere. The track is not getting any better. It is sloppy out there. So again, visibility will be the factor. 5 seconds. Travs, who's going to get the shot?
Awesome shot. The line indicate is down, Brian. Coming to that first corner. It's the Royal Distributing whole shot on the line. And we're going to give it to number 24. That is Yamaha Canada's Kyle Beaton.
Just switched from the 2-stroke 125 to the 4-stroke 250F, and it is suiting his style big time. A huge gap pulling out early. Travs, he is hooking up. Yeah!
A pair of Cowies in 2nd and 3rd. That's Northrup and Teddy Mayer. Mayer now into 2nd, Northrup in 3rd, and a cluster of riders, Klatt in 4th.
Good start for Klatt. Ooh, and he just eats a pile of spray from Northrup's back end. Northrup riding the 37 bike, and Mayer on the 67 machine. Back to the start. Watch 102. Shane Best gets hooked up and goes over the bars. A little aggressive. You know what? If he had gotten that right, he could have had the whole shot because, man, he jumped the pack, but a little early on the timing. Fasciati challenging Klatt here for 4th. Klatt with a huge lead gets by Northrup in the process. Puts him into 3rd place. Fasciati now eyeballing Northrup, but Klatt, our first moto winner, Travs, styling up there in 3rd.
He's charging up on Mayer, who's in 2nd place. Here we go back to that battle for 4th. We've got Fasciati on the outside. Does he have NorCal? These are teammates, Brian. It's going to be clean.
A very stylish, aggressive pass by Fasciati, holding the gas on around the outside. Fasciati holding tight. Mayer passed by Klatt. That puts Klatt into 2nd place early on in the moto.
Back to our leader, number 24, Kyle Beaton, stirring through the soup. Unbelievable how this track has turned into a quagmire. We've got Klatt in 2nd place, Teddy Mayer in 3rd as he styles around the corner. Here we go, back to the battle for 4th place, number 884, that's Jimmy Nelson on that 4-stroke KTM. Does he have NorCal? Yes, he does, with a nice line on the inside. Look at all the moisture that's building up in the engine and burning off in that huge billows of steam, Brian.
Yeah, it is pooling up on the track. Jimmy Nelson, always fast. I think his biggest pain is in the brain, leading his qualifier, threw away the win. He's an overthinker. If he can just pretend it's practice, he can run with all the guys. But on race day, he gets so wound up. Nice to see him up front. Let's see what he can put it together here.
Jimmy with a pass on Fasciati on the inside. That moves him into 4th place. A great ride for Jimmy Nelson. He DNF'd in that first moto, and that's a tough break for him because his championship hopes are almost out the window. The battle for the lead, Brian, is red hot. Beaton hanging on for dear life. Klatt looking for a dry line. Outside on the right-hand sweeper. Side by side, looked like a bit of a bobble from Beaton. Here they come up into that whoop section, Brian. It's anybody's game.
These rivals are bar to bar right now. You can see the steam pouring off the hot engines in those big soupy puddles. Klatt with the advantage. Looks like Beaton relinquishes the lead to Dusty Klatt.
Hanging in 2nd place is number 24, Kyle Beaton. He's got to like where he is right now as we get back to the battle for 6th place. That's Jake Weimer on that Ocean Transport Suzuki on the inside. Takes care of NorCal.
NorCal's foot got stuck in the mud just like Fasciati in the first moto, loses a position. I've been really impressed with Jake Weimer on the Suzuki all weekend. He's had terrible luck. DNF the first moto, but Northrup with a heads down, balls to the walls move. Pass bounces back. You gotta like the tenacity, Travers. Brady Sharon with issues.
He's got issues. He had issues in the first moto, now issues in the second. Tough line for him. Look at this. Kevin Johnson on the outside. Does he have NorCal? He used that line. Oh, look at that. Contact all over the track.
Oh, these two bang bars in the U.S. Arena Cross Series. Kevin Johnson's been most impressive on that Team Faith Yamaha as Weaver comes back for more of Northrop, and he uses a little of his own medicine up the inside in the exact same corner. I'm loving it.
That just goes to show you, Brian, that there are options on this track. Look at that power slide for Jimmy Nelson. Fasciotti on the inside of Jimmy. Jimmy, does he have it? Nice slide. Oh, Fasciotti. We've got a rider down, number 67, Teddy Mayer with some issues.
Unbelievable, and a big moment for Fasciotti. He was lucky he didn't fall there. He gathered it back up, heading off track. But Jimmy is holding on. Loving Jimmy Nelson here. He needs a podium for his confidence.
He sure does in third place, but it looks like he might have some issues. Checking down on the KTM, the four-stroke, not looking good.
That's more than just steam off a puddle right there, folks. Not looking good. Beaten with a creative through a foot of slop out there.
He sure is, no question about it. And here we go. Nelson is out. Oh, tough break. He DNF'd the first moto, now DNF'd the second moto, not so good. How about number 102, Shane Best, after that mishap on the start gate, working his way up to 7th as he gets by Weimer.
Talking to Best earlier from California, he's only ridden mud 4 times in 4 years, and he looks like he's a seasoned pro out there. There's number 24, Kyle Beat, with great starts all weekend on that 4-stroke machine. Coming up here for the last lap at Mission. Solid second, Travis. He's all alone.
Last lap underway. That means that Klatt somewhere on the track. Oh no, Brady Sharon with another problem, trying to get that 4-stroke KX250F going. Back to our leader, number 1, Dusty Klatt on that Blackfoot Fox Honda. This guy is almost untouchable, Brian. He looks fantastic out here.
Going in for a second moto win of the day, Dusty Klatt, no goggles, a 2-fisted salute. These local boys, I tell you, there's so much rain on the West Coast. It's no surprise they're such awesome mud riders. To the leaderboard, we all know Klatt beaten, but Fasciotti, a solid moto for third place. Kevin Johnson, Weimer, like to see that, and rounding it out, Phil. Welcome back, all you FX junkies. Thanks for sticking with us. Moto 2 of the Premier class. The MX1 boys on the line. 32nd board is up. This is where the intensity level goes through the roof.
Fabulous. The rain has not stopped all day long. This is a sick, soupy track. Focusing on a bunch of 4-bangers, couple of 2s in there. Here comes Simon Grayson and Chad Johnson on the inside with the Royal Distributing hole shot.
Holman showing that he's got great starts all weekend. Let's see if he can keep it upright. Blair Morgan, number 5 in there with a nice start. Gavin Grayson, number 16 on that OTS FF Suzuki. The big 450 making it work for him. Is he going for it? He is.
Chad Johnson with a great inside line on that right-hand sweeper, but Gavin Grayson with some great drive off that jump, takes the inside line on the left-hander and moves into first place.
Heads up move by Grayson. He's raced in Canada before, and he is a hard charger. Oh, and there's some carnage with some of the mid-pack boys here early on. You do not want to crash in the early stages because you lose so many positions as the pack blows by. Grayson looking good out front. He gets it all wrong. Oh, he just wastes himself off those rollers. Oh, did he hit the ground hard? And look at that ankle deep sloop he's got to contend with. His hands, controls, everything filthy. Oh, not the way you want to start the race from first place, Travers.
Number 9, Brad Hagseth, our new leader, taking over where Grayson left off. Styling over that big tabletop. Let's get back to the replay.
Oh, he just gets a little too aggressive, being at first place, and pays the price big time. We'll keep our eye on his progress throughout the race.
As we get back to our lead pack, we saw Chad Johnson in 3rd place, Simon Holmes in 4th, Mitch Cook in 5th, Blair Morgan, and here comes a nice battle. Sean Clark up on the inside. I see Huffman and Waugh in tow.
Sean Clark very impressive on that Team Faith Kawasaki on the 2-stroke. Out muscles Morgan on the inside, and Waugh also takes advantage of Blair Morgan. Look at Waugh cut over on the inside on Clark.
Simon Holmes with some great drive off that midfield launch, moves up to 3rd place on that big 4-banger, the 450 Yamaha. Great starts for this kid. I like what I've seen so far.
450 to 450, they are still wheel to wheel, him and Chad Johnson. Holman's got to be hurting from his first moto get off, and Johnson off screen goes down. You can see Owens look over, looking for Johnson. The battle for fifth is heating up. Blair Morgan jumps big time, challenging Clark, and the champ, John Sebastian Waugh, in the mix. I would hate to be Mitch Cook right now with all these guys charging up the back.
Mitch Cook in fourth, you're right. Back to our leader, number 9. That's factory shift Yamahas. Brad Hagson. Oh my goodness, taking care of it. Washington native, he knows the rain. Here comes that pack. We've got Mitch Cook now moving up for third place, pressuring number 12, Simon Homans.
Homans
off
over the berm.
And here comes Waugh moving into fourth place.
Homans trains with Waugh, has a lot of respect for him. He just gets knocked down 2 positions. Waugh challenging teammate Cook. That's 250 for Waugh, 450 for Cook. I love the way Cook is responding. He is fighting tooth and nail with the champ.
The champ gets that inside line though, Brian, coming up that whoop section, again into this dry area under the tree. It's amazing how much traction they're getting. Let's go back in the pack. Craig Decker with a terrible start. He's got Evan Lafferty on his tail, and Dougie DeHaan cleaning up that 3-pack.
They are charging through the pack hard. We gotta keep an eye on that pack. There's Waugh. Here's the yellow flag on the track. Yellow flag on the track, and Mitch Cook gets gathered up by that Downriders motorcycle. Homans just misses disaster. I don't even know if they saw the flagman in these terrible conditions. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you shouldn't double on a yellow. Here it is again. Jumps, doubles in. You can see the last second tries to turn and just nowhere to go but down. And he's trapped under the bike. There's Homans just narrowly missing disaster with a heads-up avoidance move. Let's hope that Cook is okay, Travs.
Back to the battle for the lead, number 9, Brad Hagson. He's got Johnson all over him. Hagler swings wide. Johnson on the inside, but no way. Brad Hagson on the gas, Brian.
Very impressed with Hagson paddling through, maintains the lead. There's Mitch Cook. Looks like he's holding that wrist or hand. Let's hope he's okay. There's Johnson. Has gotten by Brad Hagson to take control of the second moto. Way out front. Look at the gap to third place. They got, I don't know, about 5 seconds on Waugh.
All 3 of those riders narrowly missing. Number 49, Ryan McPhillips from California, as we get back to the battle for 8th place. Treadwell and Salty on the outside.
See, Treadwell front brake himself, almost went down there. Very aggressive with the front brake in these conditions, and they're still hammering. You know that Treadwell was once Ryan Lockhart's mentor, and now, look at this, the student eclipsing the master with that great pass out here in the slot.
Oh my, look at this, the champ has made it all, but Hagson with the inside line, does he have Hagler? You better believe it. He loves this part of the track, Brian. Little soupy it is.
Hagson hanging tough in third, just passed by the champ. As we move down the pack, 10th pace, Johnny Montez, number 44. A beauty pass on late Lily in these late stages of the race. And there's, look at this, Chad Johnson pushing out.
Our leader, number 6, that's Keith Johnson on the Suzuki Ocean Transport 450, has got the champ right behind him, Brian. This is a tough part of the track. Johnson's got to be feeling the pressure right now. He's got to maintain control, keep his balance, and he's got the champ behind him.
Always an intense situation with the champ behind you. Let's see what Johnson's made of here in the late stages of the second moto. Look at that champ charging just offline, avoiding the roost. The champ with the leg out. Look at the leg work on the champ. Makes the pass on Johnson. Lickety split. Here it is. Waugh finding traction where no one else can. Johnson swings wide. I think he's a bit relieved that Waugh got by him cleanly. I think Johnson's pretty happy to be following JSR here.
Now he can concentrate on second as we get back to Blair Morgan and Salty. Ryan Lockhart taking care of the former champ on the outside, crossing over to inside. Oh. Remember, Blair Morgan is recovering from that broken leg from snowcross. I am so impressed to see him out on the track.
Well, Blair Morgan can barely walk, and he's riding like the champ that he is. Went wide there, a little bobble, but we'll see him pick up as the season continues. Here's a battle for third place. Hagseth under pressure from number 12, Quebec native Simon Homans. And here's the section where Homans had difficulties earlier.
How about Homans with a hole shot in the first moto and now battling for a podium spot in the second moto? Unheard of from this guy.
Homans training really hard in the offseason. It's showing here today. Craig Decker gets the right bounce on Treadwell for 7th spot in the closing stages. Decker, a solid force in the Canadian Nationals.
Very impressed with Mike Treadwell this season, though. He's had a great start. Oh my, Homans on the inside of Brad Hagson. Does he have the position? He's got third place. He is now on the podium for this moto.
This is a new rebirth of sorts for Simon Homans in the MX1 class. He's got 2 MX2 championships on the East Coast. He is proving his worth to Yamaha right now, right here in this rainy mud.
Keith Johnson, number 6, getting ready to take the last lap flag, Brian. We were in the closing stages of this moto. He's looking pretty confident all by himself.
He sure is, man. He has got to be stoked. He's worked hard. He's had a great weekend in his qualifiers. He's been battling contact lens demons. He had a lens fall out leading his qualifier. Fell back to 6th, but John Sebastian won the story of the day, Travs. 2 moto wins for the champ. I can tell you that much. Through the leaderboard, the who's who of the series in there. Solid ride for Morgan, but loving Ryan Lockhart and Iron Mike Treadwell. 2 West Series standings. Klatt with a commanding lead. Beaten, hanging tough. Now these points are including those elusive qualifying points.
To the MX1, the big boys after 1 of 8 rounds. You know who is on the top of the box. Let's look down at those names. Hagseth, Huffman, Graysick, and Morgan rounding out the top 10.